Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another installment of Black Nostalgia. I am Vinny Sankofa, and today, since I was talking about back to school outfits and getting fly for the first day of school and whatnot, it made me think about my favorite old school clothing lines, the black clothing lines. It's so unfortunate today that we don't really have them around like that anymore. But I do see a lot of brothers and sisters coming up with their own clothing lines. Matter of fact, this is my cousin's clothing line, World and Vision. Make sure y'all support that. But I don't. Those old school brands, those black-owned brands that all the rappers were wearing and everything like that. I love that, man, because we were supporting each other. Everybody was pushing to be entrepreneur, things of that nature. So it got me to thinking, man, what were my top 5 clothing brands back in the day? That's what we're going to do today. Count down my top 5 clothing brands. Now, like I said, it's unfortunate that a lot of these brands didn't survive, and you know what it is because a lot of artists, they kind of devalued that shit. You know what I'm saying? One thing that we do have in our community that's an issue is that we devalue stuff that we create, and it's not really validated until the dominant society or white folks pretty much put their stamp on it. We're so busy rocking these European designers, blah 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 blah. All well and good if you do, but I'm done giving them folks my money. I'd rather support black-owned clothing lines. So if you are a black-owned clothing company, feel free to hit me up. I'll definitely love to rock your gear on here and give you a shout out. I support black-owned clothing designers, black-owned shoe companies. I love spending my money with black people. So all you black entrepreneurs, hit me up, DM me. Let's do some business, all right? Let's get into my top 5 clothing brands that are old school. So coming in at number 5, we got Rocawear. Rocawear started up by Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Dope line. Man, I can remember my senior year of high school back in LA, and I wanted a rock velour suit so bad, bro. My cousin, R.I.P. BB, he used to hustle clothes, kind of like how Jody did in Baby Boy. That was my cousin BB. During the Christmas break, I would go out with him to where he hit up all of these vendors and get his clothes for wholesale. And all of them had like these fly ass rock velour suits. But I had to earn my keep. I had to go out there and, talk to his clientele and help him sell the clothes and everything. And once I started building my confidence up to be a salesman and I start making money, then I could afford to buy my own rock velour suit. So I'll never forget, man, that gray, crushed gray rock velour suit. I got that with some Air Force Ones. You couldn't tell me nothing. Rocawear, started by Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Fly ass shit. Definitely love it. That's my number 5, Rocawear. Coming in at number 4, Sean John. So I think Puff started this clothing line in like 98. I always thought it was kind of fly. It was urban, the jeans were very comfortable. I thought they had some fly styles. I had a polo shirt that was a Sean John polo shirt that I had in high school. It was definitely a fly brand. It's still around today, but unfortunately, like I said, people devalue it. So now you might find it at like Sears or whatever. It's unfortunate that it went down that route because to me, it was a dope brand. They had some pretty good designs. I wish it could kind of rebrand itself the same way like Champion is doing, and like all of the old brands from like the early 90s. They're kind of giving themselves a rebrand. I love to see Sean John do the same thing, make a comeback like that. So yeah, definitely coming in at number 4, I got Sean John. Now number 3, we taking it back to the early 90s. with cross colors. Now, I love the way that cross colors was so like abstract, you know, it put all these different cross colors, like legit cross colors. Like you have red, green, yellow, like these colors that just really, to me, whenever I think of like 90s fashion, cross colors is like one of the first brands that comes to my mind. It was definitely a staple in hip hop. You always saw these rappers mobbing around with cross colors. Definitely around the way where I was at, folks rock cross colors like crazy. It's making a comeback. You can still find cross colors. It's definitely in now because a lot of the old retro fashion is making a comeback. Cross colors coming in at number 3. Now coming in at number 2, we got another early 90s fashion done by Karl Kanai. Karl Kanai, I love Karl Kanai. I love that fashion. I love his gear. Actually, another gear that I'm hoping makes a comeback. And I love it that Karl Kanai was a young black entrepreneur. And a fun fact about Karl Kanai is he was trying to get Tupac to be one of his brand ambassadors. And he had a meeting with Tupac about it. And Karl Kanai asked him, how much would you charge me to rock this? And Tupac looked at him and said, man, I ain't charging you nothing. I'll rock this for free. You black. That was a solid move. And, you know, Tupac pretty much became the poster boy for Karl Kanai back in the early 90s. Karl Kanai, I really hope that brand can make a comeback because to me, it was kind of like urban couture. I love the logo to it. I love the jeans that they had, the styles that he had. I'm hoping that brand makes a comeback and they can rebrand it like, you know, we see everybody else is kind of doing with the retro fashion. So Karl Kanai in at number 2. Now at number 1,
Fubu runs the fashion world for real. Fubu, the look, the style, the vibe, the feel. Fubu, the clothes got mass appeal. The best that ever did it. I'm just keeping it real. Fubu. Fubu.
For us, by us. Fubu. And I'm excited that it's finally making a comeback and they're rebranding it. Because Fubu was definitely, I felt that it shifted the paradigm in not only urban fashion, but in hip hop fashion. Because every rapper was rocking it. You had LL, who was pretty much the spokesperson for Fubu. He was out there, you know, promoting it and, you know, putting them pretty much on the map. And I remember when they did the collaboration with the NBA and they had the NBA hats and the NBA shooting jackets. And my favorite piece by Fubu was like the jerseys that had like the cities on them. Like, you know, I had the Los Angeles one. They had one that had Compton, South Central, you know, the New York ones, Uptowns, Harlem. Those were so fly. That was so fly. So Fubu really held it down like in the late 90s and in the early 2000s. They had the platinum Fubu with the Fat Albert. Man, that was such a fly brand. And like I said, I'm glad it's coming back. I'm loving what they're doing with the rebrand. I think it could take off definitely in this generation. We just got to get behind these brothers and support them. So those are my top 5 fashions of all time. We got Rocawear, Sean John, Cross Colors, Karl Kanai, and Fubu. So what are y'all favorite fashions of the old school? Hit me up, let me know. Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching once again. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and please share this video. I'm much appreciated. Till next time, peace.